Hi guys, welcome back to Fundo Online O-Level Biology, and today we're going to learn on cell specialization. And what we're going to learn about today is about cell specialization, palisade cells, root cells, neurons, red blood cells, and gametes. So let's continue. And starting off with what is specialization. Specialization is the structural adaptation of the cell for a particular function. And by this, I mean that it is how the structure of that cell makes the cell suitable for a special purpose. Not all cells perform the same work in the same way, but different types of cells carry out different functions. And specialized cells have these following characteristics. 1. They do one particular job. 2. They develop a distinct shape. And 3. They have special chemical reactions that occur in the cytoplasm. For example, red blood cells, which are specialized to transport their oxygen, and you can tell by their shape and the structure of those cells how they are adapted to do this specific function of transporting oxygen throughout the body. The root cells are another example which are adapted to take in water and nutrients from the soil. And lastly, red blood cells and the root cells, they are examples of specialized cells. Others include neurons, Palisade cells, and gametes, which we are going to learn in detail in the following sections. Palisade cells. Palisade cells are in the mesophyll in leaves, and they're very close to the epidermis and cuticle. So when you take a look at this diagram, we find that here there is the mesophyll, and which is composed of the sponge mesophyll, which is where are these round cells here, and the palisade mesophyll, where there are the palisade cells here. So they are positioned very close to this upper epidermis and the cuticle, which is just above the epidermis. They are specialized in carrying out the process of photosynthesis, and this is how they are specialized. 1. They contain chloroplast, which contain chlorophyll for the process of photosynthesis. And when you look at this diagram, we see that the palisade cells have got many chloroplasts, and you have to take note also that they have more chloroplasts than the sponge mesophyll or other cells in the leaf. So that's how they are adapted, because the chlorophyll will trap the sunlight that is needed for the process of photosynthesis to take place. And they are also positioned near the surface of the leaf and underneath the epidermis. This is important so that sunlight can easily travel without traveling a much greater distance to reach the cells. So this is how they are specialized for the process of photosynthesis. Root cells. Root cells are found on the outside layer of roots, where they perform the function of absorbing water and dissolved mineral salts from the soil. They have a hair-like extension, which is here. This hair-like extension, which pushes between soil particles, and this increases the surface area of the root cell so that more water can be absorbed. Root cells have a large vacuole, and the large vacuole is for taking in more water to the plant. It increases the surface area of the absorption of water and dissolved mineral salts. The cell wall of the root cell is permeable, which means it allows water and dissolved mineral salts to be easily absorbed by the root cell so that it can be taken to the plant. Neurons. Neurons are also called nerve cells, and they conduct nerve impulses throughout the nervous system. They have very long fibers called the axon, which connects distant parts of the body, e.g. the foot, to the central nervous system. They also have a fatty sheath, which we call the myelin sheath, which insulates electrical impulses, and it is found covering this axon. The endings are branched to connect with many other cells, e.g., connecting with receptor cells or effector muscles. Red blood cells. Red blood cells transport oxygen throughout the body. They are biconcave in shape and they have no nucleus, and this increases the surface area for carrying oxygen. They contain the ion hemoglobin, which bonds with oxygen, and this is important in increasing the oxygen carrying capacity. Hemoglobin also readily releases oxygen in areas of low concentration. Red blood cells are elastic, and this makes them able to squeeze through narrow tubes in the blood system. Muscle cells. Muscle cells are specialized in contracting and also relaxing so that structures can be brought close together. They are long and they are composed of many protein fibers, e.g., myosin. Gametes. Gametes are reproductive cells, and we are starting with the sperm cell. The sperm cell is the male sex cell that fused with the female sex cell during fertilization. And the sperm cell is a tail or a flagellum, which makes it motile. And the word motile here means it's able to move. And in this case, the sperm cell is able to swim with its tail to the egg cell. The sperm cell has more mitochondria for the release of energy, which it needs to be able to swim to that egg cell. The acrosome, which is at the head of the sperm cell, contains enzymes which break down the membrane around the female egg cell so that the head can penetrate easily into the egg cell. The nucleus contains genetic material including DNA, and this fuses with that of the female egg cell. During fertilization, and the zygote will be formed. The ovum or egg cell. This is the female sex cell, which is oval in shape. They are larger than sperm cells, and they have a large amount of cytoplasm in them containing yolk droplets made up of protein and fat. The nucleus of the egg cell contains genetic material which also is needed when the egg cell or the nucleus of the egg cell is fertilizing with that of the sperm cell, so that a zygote can be formed with the shared genetic material. The function of the egg cell is reproduction. So thank you for watching, and please make sure you subscribe to this channel, comment, like and share. See you soon.